That was me.
Okay, you can hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right, can we kick off our public hearing for the tax rate public hearing? The real property tax rate public hearing?
Yep.
Do we have to do anything to open the tax hearing? All right. Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember. What we have displayed is the notification of our real property tax hearing or tax notice. We'll leave it open, and obviously we will give folks the opportunity to ask any questions in this public hearing. If anyone wants to be recognized, please raise your hand, or if you're in person, raise your hand and come to the front and you'll be acknowledged. We'll keep this open for about 15 minutes or so, and then before we adjourn it. But so for those online, it may be silent for a while, but again, I have sort of 7:11 now, and so we'll keep this open for another 14 minutes or so for public comment. Ms. Katz?
Thank you. I was just about to speak up. Didn't think you saw me, but thank you so much. I'd just like to say that I am grateful for the expertise and leadership of our town manager and our staff leadership team, as well as the decisions of our mayor and council that have really kept our town within a balanced budget, along with money in the bank, as it were, making this town as financially healthy as it is. I do know there's challenges, but I'm very appreciative because I'm now aware that in this season of budgets across our region, that there are other municipalities that are very much not in a similar situation. So I just wanted to provide that input tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Katz. Appreciate that. Once again, if anyone wants to comment on the real property tax notice. You have until 7:25 to do so. Last call for public notice. Any comment on it? All right, it's 7:25. Let's conclude the public hearing for the real property tax, public hearing. And we'll call to order the legislative meeting at 7:25. We can switch the agenda. One, thanks everyone for joining. I know we had a little bit of a delay, but we will stay on track. I unfortunately am in an airport right now. And so as a result, I think it makes sense that I will yield the chair to Vice Mayor Foe, who will be the chair pro tem for this meeting. And so with that, I'll let him take over. I'll still be in the meeting as long as possible until boarding happens, but it'll be his meeting for today. And with that, Chair Foe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To start this meeting this evening, I would ask that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Thank you. We have an agenda in front of us. Is there any stated conflicts for the agenda from council members?
I have none.
Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move.
Second.
Seconded. This is not discussed as we move to a vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Myself. Aye. Ward 3, Councilmember Lengua.
Aye.
Ward 4, Councilmember Warsnap.
Aye.
Ward 5, Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
And Ward 6, Councilmember Callan.
Aye.
I believe that is 6-0. Let's move forward. Are there, first we get into a monthly finance report. Is there staff presentation?
There is Mr. Jones.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the public. Tonight's finance reports cover the months of February, March, and April. And then we also have a year-to-date total. So for April, revenues came in strong at about 579,000, which is a bit up from the same month last year, and as well as 2024. For on the expenditure side, there is a minor error related to the April expenditures. The report figure, it currently shows 98,742. The actual number is 918,742. Missing a digit there. My apologies for that. And this gives us a total revenue net expenditure of negative $339,430. All other figures in the report are accurate. The corrected version has already been submitted for upload to the Dropbox, and it should be available prior to the conclusion of tonight's meeting. So again, my apologies for that. For year-to-date revenues, we have a total of 11,426,000, or about 97% of our annual budget. And this is compared to around 96% at this point last year. Expenditures total 8.4 million or 72% of the budget, which is right on target. Last year we were at 70%. So overall, the town is expected to reach its budgeted revenue, and stay within the budgeted expenditures. Again, my apologies for the error. The correct version will be available in the Dropbox shortly. If there are any other additional questions, I'd be happy to answer regarding the finance reports.
If there are no questions, can I have a motion to adopt the monthly finance report?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Seconded.
Motion by Councilmember Smith, seconded by Councilmember Worsnop. All right, Mr. Mayor, would you like to vote?
Well, we can discuss it as well.
What did he say?
We could discuss it as well.
Oh, is there any discussion of the motion?
None here.
Seeing as there's no discussion, let's move to a vote. Mr. Mayor,
Vote aye.
Councilmember Smith, Ward 1.
Aye.
I will vote aye as well. Councilmember Langua from Ward 3.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop from Ward 4.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos from Ward 5.
Aye.
And Councilmember Callon from Ward 6.
Aye.
The ayes have it, 6-0. Let's move on to public comments. Are there any? Yes, Ms. Katz. Ms. Katz, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to speak regarding an issue I spoke of at the last council work session regarding trash and yard waste debris that was on the vacant commercial property at the corner of Rhode Island and Riverdale Road. Someone did make an effort to move the debris to the curb for pickup today because we have yard waste pickup and trash pickup today. However, it was not picked up, and it's as of about an hour ago when I walked by, it was along the curb and basically in the road as well. So this is a photograph. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's quite a bit of it. So I wanted to make sure you all knew about that as soon as I could let you know about it. And then secondly, I was wondering, could the town put a more current message on the electronic board that's located alongside Mabel Munch Park? Because also as of about an hour ago, it was on, and it still lists the dates for the public input sessions for the town budget.
Sure, we can accomplish that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Katz. Ms. Katz has routinely asked me about replacing those individual signs with television monitors here at Town Hall and across the town to deliver information to our constituents, and she has routinely advocated on behalf of that. Do we have any other public comments? Seeing none, let's move ahead to the consent agenda. The consent agenda contains routine issues, usually supported by the entire council. So there will not be a discussion of each individual issue. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
The first motion was made by Councilmember Smith of Ward 1, and it was seconded by the mayor. Is there any discussion? All right, let's move to a vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
I vote aye. Councilmember Langua.
Aye.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
And Councilmember Callon.
Aye.
The motion passes 6-0. And that is, I believe, the last item that we will have to vote on for this entire meeting. We now move on to unfinished business. Issue 1 is ordinance 2026-OR-01 regarding the FY 2027 operating and CIP budget and tax rates. And this is an item for discussion only. Is there a presentation from staff?
There's not a separate presentation, sir. This is on the agenda in the event that the mayor or any members of the council have any questions.
All right, we'll open the item with any questions or comments from council. Hearing none. What is proper procedure? Do we move forward to the next item? All right. Let's move to item number 2. It's the Maryland Municipal League 2027 legislative action request. And I assume we're just seeking more input from council, or is there a presentation?
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair. This item is just on the agenda for future discussion or further discussion rather. If the council would like to take any sort of action or give direction to the council or to the staff regarding a legislative action request. And again, a MML legislative action request is for the league's priority legislation. There will be another time that the council will discuss individual priorities. That's usually in the fall, October, November, somewhere in that time. But this is for the league's priorities, and this is the first step in their process. If the town would like to enter any legislative action requests, that would need to happen by the next meeting, which is May the 18th. The deadline is May 31st. I did learn that the council could take action, the legislative component of it, after May 31st, which is the deadline. So just to give everyone a time frame, if the town is interested in putting in a legislative action request, we would need to have that discussion by next week or the week after next. Getting so used to having council meetings every week, the week after next. And then further action could be taken at the June legislative meeting if the council would prefer. Okay, thank you.
Any thoughts, council?
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Councilmember Woodstock.
Thank you. So I wanted to just bring back up the program briefly mentioned at our last meeting and that I shared some information with you all about. This is a direct kind of cash transfer program to pregnant moms and then through the first year of life for the child. This has been implemented in Michigan. I don't know everything right now that I would like to know about such a program, but given the issues related to maternal mortality and also newborn health in Prince George's County, this could be something that we consider for the MML legislative priorities. Let me just say a few words about it, and then I'd be grateful for others' thoughts. First, to be clear, this is not a program that the town would be paying for. Looking at it, nor could it pay for. In Michigan, where this is kind of most widely adopted right now, this is funded through a number of different funders, including the state, but also a number of private organizations. So it's a public-private partnership, but is not something that I would be proposing would be primarily paid for or even significantly paid for by the town, since it's a well beyond the town's means. But it seems potentially relevant to MML because it's something that affects all counties and municipalities in Maryland. All municipalities in Maryland. But I will just say that in Prince George's County, the maternal mortality ratio is higher than the Maryland state average. It's 50% higher in Prince George's County than the national average and 40% above the Maryland average. And in particular, that burden tends to fall on Black and Brown women in the county. So this is, a pressing issue. I don't know yet if this type of program is the best suited to address this issue, I will say, and we would want to know that, before the state would move forward with anything, of course, but it seems worth considering. I'll leave it there, and I can answer any questions that people have to the extent that I have information at this point.
Thank you, council member.
Mr.
Any other
Chair?
council member? Oh, council member Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Would just strongly concur with my colleague, Councilman Worsnop, on supporting this program. I think it sounds like a great thing for us to include in our suggestions to MML for legislative priorities. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Vice Mayor.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Mayor.
I concur as well. I think it's actually appropriate for, it's a statewide issue in terms of infant mortality and sort of righting those wrongs, obviously impacting the county more specifically. It's something that I think we should have MML take a serious look at it in terms of their priorities, as well as reaching out to the Prince George's County delegation for something they should push in as well. So in full support of that. Another item that I would sort of bring up is similar to, so I think the state of Hawaii recently passed a bill that limits the corporate influence. It's sort of in order for large corporations to spend politically within the state of Hawaii. And as an article that the vice mayor sent me that I can share with staff and the rest of the council to review, did some digging. I believe there was a bill that was introduced this past session that stalled in committee. I think it was House Bill 1378, the Maryland Corporate Power Reset Act, which essentially prohibits certain domestic and foreign entities formed, organized, and authorized in the state from engaging in certain election activities or ballot issues. And so I think it's well worth considering how we try to have MML think through how, large corporations sort of limit their political activity within the state.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any other council commentary? I sent that message to the mayor and some staff and some council members earlier today. I believe that spending on our elections has grown significantly out of control. I believe wholeheartedly that the influence of money in politics is corrupting. And I think that anything that we can do to reduce the power, specifically of outside spending in our own state, should be avenues that we should explore. I appreciate the mayor for bringing that up, and I look forward to further dialogues. And with that, we should move to new business item number 2. It's a task order contract for Zest LLC to prepare engineer plans for traffic calming improvements along Riverdale Road. Is there a staff presentation?
There is, Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Chair, sorry.
You're fine.
And we also have, I believe, the budget amendment, the fiscal 26 budget amendment. And so we'll handle that after what you just called. Director Lewis, if you could handle the contract.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members and members of the community. Staff is proposing a task order contract with Zest LLC, one of the town's on-call engineers, to prepare engineering plans for traffic calming along Riverdale Road from Tanglewood Drive to 48th Avenue. No council action is required at this time. As background, in December 2025, staff presented an expanded scope of roadway improvements that included several traffic calming projects on Riverdale Road, including a raised intersection at 54th Avenue and Riverdale Road and Taylor Road at Riverdale Road, a raised crosswalk at Tanglewood Drive and the bike path crossing on Riverdale Road, and continental crosswalks at 48th and 49th Avenues on Riverdale Road. It was determined during early field investigations that more extensive engineering would be required at the Riverdale and Taylor Road intersection because of the location of manholes and the need to upgrade existing curb ramps to ADA compliant directional ramps. ZES conducted a preliminary assessment and determined that the intersection at Riverdale Road and 54th Avenue lies within the floodplain. And because of this, raising the intersection will require compensatory storage of displaced stormwater. Additionally, 2 existing inlets at this intersection would have to be moved, significantly increasing the cost of the project. Given these constraints, staff is no longer recommending a raised intersection at this location. Instead, we proposed installing mural art as a separate project outside the scope of a task order contract with ZES. This approach is certainly a lower cost to the town and at the same time effective. ZES has also recommended using split speed humps near Tanglewood Drive and the bike path crossing instead of raised crosswalks at these intersections as a more feasible and effective option. ZES's scope of work includes a right-of-way and topographic survey, utility investigation, ADA curb ramp design, concept and construction plans, and preparation of cost estimate and the bid documents. The fee for this service is just under $47,000, and the work is expected to be completed at least by the end of July. Funding for this work is available within the existing streets and sidewalk CIP budget. And with that, I'll take questions. Thank you.
Any questions or comments, council?
You will.
Councilmember Worsnop.
Thanks. Thank you so much for this. 2 quick questions. First, why did ZEST recommend the split speed humps instead of the raised crosswalk? And then second is, what would the cost have been, the original cost for the raised intersection?
Well, let me answer the second question first. We did not yet estimate the cost of that. The engineering will determine that. In fact, that's a part of ZES's scope of work. The split speed humps were recommended primarily for emergency vehicles and other large vehicles that use Riverdale Road coming into town onto Riverdale Road from Kenilworth or from 410. And so we actually installed a split hump on 54th Avenue south of Riverdale Road for that same reason early last year as part of the recent road improvement projects.
Okay, thank you. One quick follow-up clarification.
Sure.
So if the recommendation is to not install the raised intersection anymore, then they will not be estimating the cost for doing that, I assume, as part of their
Certainly
project.
not at
Correct.
54th and
Okay.
Riverdale Road.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay,
Only
thank
for
you.
Riverdale Road and
Yeah.
Taylor.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure. Welcome.
Councilmember Lengua.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Speaking of speed humps, well, first thing I'm noticing here, I'm just making sure I'm reading this right. I'm reading it again for on the background part. Proposed improvements include a raised intersection table at 54th Avenue and Taylor Road.
It should be Riverdale Road, actually.
Okay.
54th and Riverdale
Wondering.
Road. Good catch. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Very welcome. Speaking of catches, is Zest the same engineering firm that did the design specifications for the speed humps on Taylor Road?
No, that was Pannoni.
That was Pannoni that did the engineering.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
We know what we're going to be talking about later, right?
It's on the list. We've
Great.
not forgotten. We've talked with the contractor about sort of adding to those speed humps on Taylor Road.
Okay, well, I don't want to deflect from what we're talking about now, but that's a
Okay.
neat little add-on, but we'll save that for later. But okay, so this is a different engineering firm that's doing the engineering for these improvements.
Yes, one of
That
our
was-
on-call engineering companies
Okay,
of the three that we have.
okay, that was those were the two things I just want to ask about and get clarified on there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Hello.
Just a quick question. This does not include the potential raised intersection on Queensbury and Taylor Road. That's going to be handled separately with the county program.
So that's not a raised intersection proposed at that location, but a mural art at that intersection.
So in the end, there'll be no raised intersections at all, is what we're proposing, or only the only one is going to be Riverdale and Taylor.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Vice Mayor.
Councilmember Calon.
Yeah, this my topic is going directly to Director Lewis about the divided speed hump they installed at 54th Avenue. It's good, but it's too low. Still, the people are speeding because it's too low. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. The speed hump is too low.
Okay. I actually did a trial run on both Taylor Road, where we installed 3 speed humps south of Queensbury, and the one that was installed on 54th. And I actually had, if you will, a better, I guess, experience there than I had at Taylor. So the engineers, I had them test that one as well on 54th, and they determined that it's actually higher than the ones on Taylor Road.
No, Taylor Road is high. That high is good. Nobody can speed over that Taylor Road by the school. But the one in 54th Avenue is too low. People are still speeding because it's too low for them.
I'm not sure that's the reason. We put in the speed humps where there's a bus route or where we have heavy traffic and are likely to have emergency vehicles, fire trucks especially, using the roadway. And their timing is certainly impacted by a regular speed hump. So you'll notice in different parts of town, we actually use the split speed hump that allows those vehicles to stay at grade, traveling on those roads because of the split.
Well, if that's where you guys design it, it's not bad, but it's too low. I will tell you that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will say we did have that one tested along with those on Taylor Road, and we found that to be a couple of inches higher. So I can redrive it, but again, I did do that a month or so ago just to make a comparison between the hump on 54th, the split hump on 54th, and those on Taylor Road.
Okay, at any time you want to visit 54th Avenue, just inform me so I can indicate to you where I'm talking about.
I was going to make the same offer, so thank you for that.
Okay.
I'll follow up.
Thank you very much, council member. Any other council commentary?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
Or
Mr. Town Manager.
Mr.
Mr. Vice.
Chair.
Yes.
It's a long
Understandable.
habit. My apologies. So I just want to make sure that we have clarity here. Director Lewis, is it accurate to say that we're going to have the engineers take a look at the speed humps on 54th and on Taylor to ensure compliance with the design specifications? And if they are not in compliance, we're going to have alterations made. Is that accurate?
They found that the split hump on 54th is constructed to standard. They did also they did measure the humps on Taylor, but have asked the contractor to remeasure them. You know, their outcome was that, yeah, it met in terms of the height specifications, but the ride over the speed humps gave a different experience. And so we're going to have the contractor come out, measure, and then add to those humps. Just to follow up on the work that the engineers did to assess the heights of the speed humps on Taylor. But they've done both. Our engineers have done both sets of humps.
So the engineers have looked at it. We're going to have the contractor. And can we have the contractor work with the engineer, have them both on
Absolutely.
site at the same time to make sure everybody's looking and measuring the same thing?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, council? Seeing none, let's move to the correspondence summary. There's only one. Oh, I'm sorry.
I believe we may have passed over new business 1, which is the fiscal 26 budget amendment, and Deputy Director of Finance, Mr. Jones, is here to handle that.
Thank you very much. I apologize.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the public. So no action is required at the May 4th legislative meeting. The amendment will be introduced on May 18th with adoption scheduled for June 1st and an effective date of June 21st. The proposed amendment is primarily a housekeeping adjustment just to align the budget with actual revenues and expenditures. It reflects first a $56,080 in newly awarded grant funding. This is from the state of Maryland, supporting community programming. We have public safety initiatives, officer retention and equipment. The second part of the amendment is a $125,000 increase in the automated safety program. The revenue side is along with the corresponding contractual services expenditures, and this is due to a higher than anticipated program activity. So overall, this amendment just ensures that the budget remains accurate and up to date while also maintaining the town's strong financial position.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Questions or comments from council?
I have none.
Seeing none. Now is the appropriate time to move on to the correspondence summary? I believe so. There's only one communication in the correspondence summary. It's from Washington Gas, and it details the closures occurring on the East-West Highway up until May 19th. All right. And with that, we will move on to our presentations. First, excitedly, a proclamation in recognition of Police Week. Whereas police officers embody the highest ideal of service and sacrifice, risking their lives each day to uphold the rule of law, preserve public safety, and safeguard the rights and freedoms of all individuals. And whereas law enforcement officers are the dedicated guardians of our communities, selflessly devoting themselves to protecting and serving with courage, integrity, and honor. And whereas Police Week provides an opportunity to honor the memory of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, paying tribute to the courage, valor, and selflessness, and expressing gratitude for their profound contributions to our society. And whereas Police Week also serves as a time to express appreciation for the unwavering commitment and resilience of law enforcement officers who confront adversity with their unwavering resolve, compassion, and empathy to strive to make our communities safer, stronger, and more resilient. And whereas the town of Riverdale Park is deeply grateful to the courageous officers of Riverdale Park under the leadership of Chief Robert Turner, who selflessly put themselves in harm's way to protect our town, our families, and defend our community. Now, therefore, the mayor, Ifiok C. Inyang, by virtue of the authority vested in him as the mayor of the town of Riverdale Park, Maryland, do hereby proclaim May 11th through the 17th, 2026 as National Police Week. Gentlemen, thank you so much for the job you do. It is dramatically appreciated, and I am grateful and thankful to have you here every single day. Thank you. All right. Presentation number 2 is a proclamation focusing on National Public Works Week 2026. Big week for our employees in the town of Riverdale Park. Whereas the theme of the 66th Annual National Public Works Week is Rooted in Service, Powered by Community, and whereas Public Works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to our sustainable and resilient community, as well as the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the residents of Riverdale Park. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without dedicated efforts of Public Works professionals who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our infrastructure, public buildings, and other structures and facilities that are essential for our residents. And whereas it is in the public interest for residents, businesses, civic leaders, visitors, and especially our children in Riverdale Park to gain knowledge of and to maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in our neighborhoods. And whereas 2026 marks the 66th Annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Town of Riverdale Park Mayor and Council do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th through the 23rd, 2026 is National Public Works Week in the Town of Riverdale Park and call upon all residents to recognize the substantial contributions that the Department of Public Projects and Services employees make to protect our town's health, safety, and quality of life. I want to thank all of our public works workers. I think back to Snowcrete this year and how many people reached out to say that whenever they left the town, roads were dramatically decreased in quality of service. Thank you for everything you do, Public Works. Next, we're going to have a proclamation in recognition of Asian Pacific Heritage Month. Yeah. It's a big week for proclamations. Whereas Asian Pacific American Heritage Month has been observed annually during May to recognize the contributions and influence of Asian Americans and Pacific Islander Americans. And whereas today more than 20 million Asian American Pacific Islanders live in the United States and through their actions make the United States of America a more vibrant, prosperous, and secure nation. And whereas a vast diversity of languages, religions, and cultural traditions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders is continuously fostered to strengthen the fabric of American society. And whereas throughout our nation's history, Americans of Asian and Pacific Islander descent have made significant contributions to the growth and strength of our communities, from science, business, and politics to literature and the arts. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders of all backgrounds have set inspiring examples as leaders and trailblazers, united by a common hope for civil rights, equal treatment, and a better tomorrow for all Americans. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders of all backgrounds, and examples as leaders and trailblazers, united by a common, I already read that, I apologize. Whereas the Federal Asian Pacific American Council has designated the theme for AAPI Heritage Month 2026 as Power and Unity. This year's theme highlights the importance of leveraging collective power, telling cultural stories, and Asian American and Pacific Islanders being bridge builders in our communities. And whereas the town of Riverdale Park is a diverse community, and by recognizing the contributions and accomplishments of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, our town celebrates the importance of inclusion to building a brighter future for all of our residents. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the town of Riverdale Park Mayor and Council do hereby proclaim May as Asian American Heritage Month and call on everyone in our community to observe May as Asian Pacific Heritage Month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. And last but not least, we have a proclamation towards Building Safety Month 2026. Whereas the town of Riverdale Park is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends upon the safety and economic value of the homes, buildings, and infrastructure that serve our residents, both in everyday life and times of disaster. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these individuals are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, and federal officials that are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect us in buildings where we live, learn, work, play. And whereas these modern building codes include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our local code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, energy efficient, and livable buildings that are essential to America's prosperity. And whereas Built to Last, the theme for Building Safety Month 2026, encourages us all to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment in home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local and state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, the mayor, Ifeoxi Inyang, mayor of the town of Riverdale Park, does hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 is Building Safety Month. That was a mouthful. At this point, is the mayor still on, and does he want to give a mayor's report this evening?
I believe he had to board, Mr. Chair.
All right, then we're going to move to the town manager's report.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, other members of the council. Bear with me one moment. A few things to report. So as previously shared with the council, when we first put the RFP out for legal services for a new town attorney, the initial response was subpar. So we went back out and we've received 3 responsive bids from reputable firms. And so we'll be working with the mayor and council on next steps to select a new town attorney. On May 6th, this Wednesday, Coffee with a Cop is scheduled at the Dunkin' Donuts on Riverdale Road. And that's at 8 to 10 on Wednesday. The LMUTC is meeting also on the 6th at 7:30 p.m. That's a virtual meeting. Then on this Saturday, the 9th at 9:30, we have the first walk and talk of 2026. And we are going to meet in Riverdale Park Station at the trolley trail at Woodbury. And the path is walking the trail. And down to Hyattsville, we're going to talk about some improvements to the trail and updates both on town projects as well as updates reference some potential private projects in the area. And please let the deputy town manager know if you plan to attend the Ravenswood Community Forest grand opening on Friday, May 15th. That's from 5 to 7 p.m. On May 18th, your next scheduled meeting, there's a special legislative session that evening. The meeting will be hybrid. Just calling this date to your importance or to your attention because of it's much closer than usual, but that's because of the Memorial Day holiday. And we do have the budget ordinance scheduled for adoption on May 18th. The Ethics Commission will meet on May 20th at 7:30 p.m. That's a virtual meeting by Zoom. And the Ethics Commission scheduled for the 11th. Or I'm sorry, the first one is Board of Elections is meeting on the 20th, and that's via Zoom. The Ethics Commission meeting that was scheduled for the 11th of May has been rescheduled to the 10th of June. If you have not already done so, please complete the calendar year financial disclosure forms and return those to the Deputy Town Manager. That's all I have this evening. If there's any questions.
Any questions, Council?
Yes,
Council-
Vice Mayor.
Oh,
Yeah,
Councilmember Callan.
that manager mentioned like walk and talk, but I didn't get. I don't know what date. I didn't hear the date when it's going to happen.
It is this Saturday, Mr. Councilmember. I don't know the date on the Saturday. The 9th.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilmember Lingua.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chair. Can I ask this now and just get clarification now, because really we're at a point in the meeting, we're on reports, and after reports, we're looking at adjournment, and I'm not going to try and bring this up after we do reports, so I'm going to do it at this point in time. So I think this is probably the best point to do this. And that's what I was saying before about referring back to what we were discussing before with the contract for engineering for the streets and road calming devices that we're looking at, and as regards to the speed humps put in on Taylor Road. And what I'm hearing is that we're going to see if, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that the contractor in consultation with the engineer is going to go out, is going to check the measurements of the speed humps on Taylor Road, the dimensions of the speed humps on Taylor Road, and to see whether or not they're in compliance with what the engineering plans were for those speed humps. Do I have that correct?
I would describe that as one area that they're going to look at. The other thing I think they, based upon the concerns we've heard expressed, we also need to make sure that they meet the standard for that type of a speed hump. I'd refer back to a presentation made some time ago to the last council, I believe it was, where we had the engineers come in and talk about speed humps, speed bumps, speed tables.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to make sure that one, what was built met the specification that the engineer gave the contractor. Two, does the engineer specification, is that the proper specification? So I think there's two questions there, sir, that we need to resolve.
Okay. Propriety of the specification is based on what outcome that we're trying to meet in terms of.
I would like to know, is it designed appropriately in the first place? And then did the contractor build what was they were directed to build?
Designed appropriately for the objective of slowing down vehicles.
Yes, and I believe, sir, not being an engineer, but there are specifications for speed humps. And so I would like the engineers to explain to Director Lewis's satisfaction that, yes, they're following appropriate standards for speed humps or bumps or tables throughout the town.
Okay. Well, as from what I've heard from residents along there, who are the ones that are doing what they can in terms of their obligations to footing the bill for all these projects that we do, as well as other things that are happening in town, as well as us here who are the representatives. We are meeting, doing what we can to meet our obligations here as representatives, as well as residents, and our obligation to our taxes. What I'm hearing and what I have experienced with these speed humps on Taylor Road is that they are not meeting the objective of slowing down traffic. As I had put it before, upon seeing the speed humps going in and being able to see how effective one that was installed was, I found that it was very effective in being amusing, but not very effective in being a deterrent. So someone may come back and say, well, these are in compliance of, for what this, whatever was laid out for a speed hump bump table. That may be the case, but they are not meeting the objective of slowing down traffic on Taylor. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Councilmember. As we continue on with ward reports, Councilmember Smith, do you have one for Ward 1?
Nothing to report this evening, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. I will go next with a Ward 2 report. I just want to speak this into existence. I don't know if it'll come out appropriately or not, but I think it speaks to the continuity of our government that we have, that I believe tonight I am the fourth member to lead a meeting over the past 9 years. I believe that my heartbeat will finally settle down as we adjourn. And I just want to shout out the commitment made from former Mayor Thompson, from Councilmember Lengua, from Mayor Inyang for holding this seat previously before I have. Having the time to think about it has led me to become quite nervous, as you could probably notice in my speech pattern. I'm glad to have returned to comfort at this moment. But I take this as an incredible honor to join those other members in being able to say that we led a meeting for the town of Riverdale Park. And I appreciate the work that they all have had done prior to this. Secondly, rain check rebates is a budget issue that I assume will be gone in the next couple of years. I believe the program will be unfunded as we continue to struggle with budget issues in the state. And I would encourage everyone here to have an opportunity, if you can utilize the $6,000 set aside for properties, I would encourage you to do so. Specific parts of our community can gain access to tree monies. So I'm able to access $125 per 3 trees last year alone. And if the caliper exceeds 2 inches, you can get up to $300 for that. Part of what we can do in our individual homes and our individual lawns to help the greening, to help our tree canopy, to help at least maintain some water from running into our sewer systems. I think the impetus falls upon us to continue to do those things. This is a remarkable program that is not present in Fairfax County, that is not present in the city of Pittsburgh, entities that I'm familiar with, that I share this with. And I just ask on our community to celebrate this account that we can access to beautify our homes and greenify our community. Please take advantage of this opportunity before it's gone. And with that, I will yield the remainder of my time. Up next, Ward 3.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chair. If we're going back 9 years, that would make you the 5th, because I believe in the May 2017 meeting, The then mayor was one Vernon Shelby Archer. So, but I will be sure to, when I see him, to convey that you acknowledge his time up here on the council, serving and conducting meetings as mayor.
Of course.
Absolutely. I attended over at Riversdale the community conversation meeting that Maya Davis and Kaylee Lockby graciously hosted and put on. Spirited turnout, if not in number, in conversation. It was a very good conversation with the folks who came, folks who were involved in their earlier lives in museum work and historic houses and all, and really neat conversation that brought up a number of things. Sympathized with the challenges that Riversdale meets, saying that they experienced similar things in their line of work previously. Couple of the items that we did talk about that we thought would be something that the town could work with Riversdale on, and vice versa. One being is putting together a garden swap event in town, essentially plant garden, seed swap, bulb swap, possibly starting out the first couple locations, first few times being in town, while Ms. Davis confers with Park and Planning about then possibly transferring the location for this event to Riversdale and involving Riversdale as well in this event with the town. We see the possibility of being able to involve the gardener there at Riversdale, as well as being a very central location that would have pretty much 90+% of the town has ready access to. There's more to come on that, and hopefully we'll be hearing more good news in the future. Another item for the next community conversation that Ms. Davis seemed very keen upon, being that she learned about the campaign that we're pursuing of a One Riverdale, is for the October community conversations to be about community and being a single community. There'll be more work on that over the coming months and over the summer. I'm sure we'll be hearing more from Ms. Davis, as I know she's in touch with staff about this as well. So one of the items that I will be looking to work on in the near future is addressing one of the issues along Oglethorpe, the section between 48th Avenue and Taylor, is reaching out to the current realtor of a property along there that's up for sale, to talk with them, with the seller or possible potential buyers, about seeing what we can do working with them as well as with county on essentially I don't know if it's so much a stormwater, but it will address an issue about standing water that goes down Oglethorpe, that then turns the corner, goes down Taylor, pools at both Nicholson and Madison Street before it finally gets down towards Longfellow and gets to a drain. Not sure what this is going to come at this, but it's worth giving it a try, and hopefully we can find something successful. One of the things that I do know, having done some surveying back there, is between the properties that run along the back of the properties on Oglethorpe and the back of the properties that are on Nicholson, is an old is a stormwater line that I'm hoping we can find out more about. I know Director Lewis is somewhat aware of this. I'm not sure exactly if she has looked up in a preliminary just survey of what's under there through county records or through WSSC records. But this is something I would like to, over the next few months, be able to just engage in to see if something can come to fruition. I was reticent before on doing this, being that the property was up for sale, but when would be a good time to do it? And I figured probably best to just give it a try now and see what comes of it. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Warsnop, Ward 4.
Thank you. Just a few items tonight. First, just wanted to report back that I think the week before last, the mayor and I attended the event for the new Arliss building in the Discovery District. It was the kind of start of construction on their new building. And though technically it is in College Park, as everyone knows, much of the Discovery District is in Riverdale Park. And we spoke to members of the communications and media team for the Discovery District, and they offered to come to an upcoming council meeting to kind of talk more about what they are doing and potential to kind of build more connection to the town. So if that is of interest, we could follow up on that. Then second, be attending the HOA meeting for Riverdale Park Station on Thursday. There was interest in discussing what is known about the new townhouse development in Riverdale Park Station. And I will also mention to everyone that the walk and talk is happening in Riverdale Park Station this weekend. On that note, wanted to thank staff again for help elevating the bike path issues and getting the flex posts and striping in there. I have heard from a number of residents that they really appreciated seeing that, and happy to report that I have not seen any cars driving down the bike path in the last few weeks. So hopefully no one else has seen that either recently, but thank you again for that. And I am going to leave it there.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Ramos, Ward 5.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I don't have anything to report today.
That's fine. Councilmember Callon, Ward 6.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. I have a concern here from the Volunteer Fire Department, the president, Mrs. Nova. She's asking Ward 5, Ward 6 to provide a place where they can set their table for a meeting. So I don't know how that is going to be happen, because as for me, all the places, unless if I call her, I will walk to her, let's survey the place. If anywhere is suitable for them to set their table, they can do that. But all the places like 54th Avenue, the parking lot belong to River of Life Church. Or go to Riverdale Plaza, because that has a big space over there. But I don't know if she's with us now in this meeting, so that I don't know, we can invite her to work with us to look around the suitable place. So that's probably I have right now. I don't know, Ramos, did you get the message?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I did respond to Nova. If she wants to reach out to me I'm sorry, if they want to reach out to me directly. I am close with the property manager at the Swift and I can speak with him, but I didn't get a phone call, so I wasn't sure how to proceed. But if you want, I know he's more than happy to let you use his lobby. He actually wants to work with the town.
No, they want to do it in a public place where they can educate people, not the lobby.
I think she said if it rained, she would like to work at Are you here, Nova?
I don't think if she's...
Excuse me, everyone. Nova has her hand raised right now, so I'd like to acknowledge her to maybe limit this dialogue a little bit.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Well done this evening. I know how that nervousness feels. So yes, to speak to council members' concern, yes, I did reach out because the fire department is participating in the Maryland State Fire Marshal's Community Risk Reduction Weekends. That will be May 16th through 17th, and also will happen again in October 17th through the 18th. And I did reach out, and I think we have it almost ironed out. Councilmember Ramos responded back, and yes, the inside was, as Councilmember Ramos said, it's an alternative in case that Saturday, the 16th, is a rain day. We would like to still participate and actually have our event go off well. And I think would be more useful being in the lobby of one of the apartments if the weather's too bad. Otherwise, we'll just I was just looking for input if you guys knew of an area on one of the main streets that would not cause too much traffic issues, but we could get a lot of foot traffic to be able to reach out and get as much information out to reduce the risk so that you don't become the emergency. We like responding to emergencies, but we would like to reduce the risk to help everybody involved, the community, the fire department, the police department. We'd like to keep that stuff down. So yes, I got both of you all's reply. And I think we have it almost ironed out, other than a couple of our internal logistics stuff that we're working out, but I think we're good. So yes, so the idea would be Saturday, the 16th, we would be somewhere in those two wards. If not, if I have enough participation from my membership, I may be able to divide and conquer and have a table in both wards. And then on Sunday, we would like to bring it back to the west side of town, someplace. So I'm more familiar with that side versus the east side. So that's why I reached out to both of you all to get your input, because it is your
Ms. Johns.
Yes.
We think that the River of Life Church would be a great place to reach out to if you're looking for an outdoor space.
Okay, perfect. Yep, that will continue to reach out. Like I said, I got a reply back from both of the council member in those request areas. So yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying if he can come and see me, then we can.
Yeah, I can email you and we can get together on foot and we can go for a walk. That's fine with me. I can.
When do you want us to do it?
It's going to be May 16th on your side. So
no. For you to both of us to meet.
I can send you an email as soon as this meeting's over or as we speak, and then you can
have my personal number.
Okay. If you want to reply to that email with your personal number, I think it's also
no. I have my personal phone here. If you email me there, that will be fine. My number is 240.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get to 240.
825.
No, hey, excuse me. This is a public meeting. Do not. You should.
I tried to get him to. So
deal through email on this.
If you can reply to my
Councilmember Callon, do you have any other comments that you want to move forward with?
Well, I just want to get her number or my number so that me and her. But the number I provide in the mail is that direct to you?
Yes, the 301 number. Yes. Whatever the signature line. In my signature line, you can reach out.
I will call you after the meeting.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Staff will assist in coordinating this.
Staff will assist in coordinating this communication.
That's okay. Yep.
All right.
Appreciate you all. Thank you for allowing me.
Thank you. All right. Seeing that we have no more council members, I would like to hear a motion for adjournment.
I move.
Seconded.
Okay. That was the motion was Councilmember Callon, and it was seconded by Councilmember Smith. All right. We do not discuss this, so let's move forward with a vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Aye. Councilmember Lengua.
Aye.
Councilmember Warsnop.
Aye.
Councilmember Ramos.
Aye.
Councilmember Callon.
Aye.
All right. It's 6-0, and we are now adjourned. Good evening, everybody.
Good night, everybody.